Hey Claude, build me a full stack startup with authentication and a beautiful dark mode UI. Boom, done. Welcome to the era of vibe coding. If you've been on tech Twitter or LinkedIn lately, you've seen the hype. People who barely know how to write a loop are shipping entire production-ready apps in a weekend just by typing prompts into Cursor and Claude. They aren't programming. They are just vibing and letting the AI do the heavy lifting. And honestly, it's an incredible superpower. I use these tools myself to automate workflows and build projects at lightning speed. But as the founder of a tech recruitment agency here in Tokyo, I have to bring everyone back to a reality for a second. Because I'm seeing a massive influx of overseas developers applying to Japanese startups with resumes that basically say expert vibe coder. I can prompt really well. So let's ask the multi-million yen question. Is modern vibe coding actually enough to get you hired and sponsored for a visa in Japan in 2026? Or Tokyo City odds about to filter your resume straight into the trash? Hi, it's Kei. Lately, the narrative online is that traditional software engineering is dead. The hype loop says you don't need to study data structures, system design, or deep architecture anymore. You just need to know how to talk to an LLM. And if you're looking at Tokyo's fast-growing Tier 2 mega ventures or Tier 3 startups, it's true that they love speed, right? They want to ship features yesterday. But there is a massive difference between building a weekend project on your own and joining a core engineering team in Tokyo, responsible for a platform handling millions of requests. Today, I want to put back the curtain on how Tokyo CTOs actually view vibe coders, the exact moments where pure prompting completely fails in a real job, and how you can combine the power of vibe coding with real engineering to land a 9 million plus yen offer. So let's be clear. Tokyo CTOs expect you to use AI tools. If you aren't using Cursor in 2026, you look slow. But if you only know how to vibe code, you will completely crash and burn during a Japanese technical interview for 3 specific reasons. 1. The legacy monolith reality. When you vibe code a fresh project, you start with a clean slate. AI is amazing at greenfield projects, right? But guess what? Most high-paying Tier 2 or Tier 3 startups in Tokyo aren't greenfield. They have existing, complex, messy code bases, sometimes built over 3 to 5 years. They have legacy databases, weird dependencies, and undocumented architecture trade-offs. If you just copy-paste a massive interconnected legacy file into Claude and say, fix this bug, the AI will hallucinate, break 3 other services, and cost the company money. Tokyo tech teams need engineers who can dive deep into complex existing systems, understand the human context behind why it was built that way, and surgically reactor it. AI can assist, but your core engineering brain has to drive. 2. Senior level expectation for visa. Here is a legal and economic reality. Japanese companies rarely sponsor visas for junior level talent. Sponsoring a visa is expensive and legally intensive. When a Tokyo startup hires from overseas, they are looking for mid to senior level engineers who can take ownership. A junior developer vibe codes by blindly trusting whatever code the AI outputs. A senior engineer uses AI to generate the code, but immediately audits it. They ask, is this scalable? Does this introduce security vulnerability? What happens to our database connections under heavy load? If you can't answer those questions during a live coding or system design interview with a Japanese CTO, the interview is over. 3. High context collaboration. Engineering in a startup is a team sport. In Japan, collaboration is all about alignment and understanding user context. Vibe coding is an isolated, solitary activity. But in a Tokyo office or remote-first startup, you have to align with product managers, cross-functional teams, and sometimes deal with localized Japanese business requirements. You have to explain your technical decisions. If your only explanation is, well, Casa generated it this way, and it seemed to work on my local machine, you fail the team fit assessment, right? So, am I telling you to stop vibe coding? Absolutely not. The goal isn't to reject AI. The goal is to become an AI-leveraged product builder. The engineers who are getting hired in Tokyo right now for 9 million plus yen are using a hybrid approach. They use vibe coding workflows to handle 80% of the tedious repetitive work, like writing boilerplates, setting up basic unit tests, or spinning up initial UI layouts. Because they save so much time on the boring stuff, they can focus 100% of the energy on product mindset. They spend their time talking to users, optimizing system performance, and thinking about business metrics. When you frame yourself this way on your resume, you become an elite candidate, right? You aren't just a developer anymore. You are a one-man army who can deliver the output of 3 average engineers. That is exactly what the Series A or Series B startup in Tokyo is looking for. The conclusion is simple. Vibe coding is enough to build a product, but it is not enough to get you hired by itself. It raises the baseline of what an average engineer can do, which means the bar to stand out is higher than ever. Don't just be a prompter. Be the engineer who understands the architecture, the business impact, and how to navigate the local market dynamics in Tokyo. If you can bridge the gap between bleeding edge AI workflows and solid architectural foundations, you'll be completely unstoppable in the Japanese job market. So, if you want to know exactly how to position your resume to show Tokyo startups that you are a high leverage product builder and not just a generic prompt writers, I am mapping out the entire blueprint for you. This summer, I'm officially releasing the Japan Tech Playbook 2026 again to make it incredibly special. I'm running an exclusive 5-day birthday launch from July 15th to July 19th. Starting right on my birthday, I'm celebrating by giving everyone who supports me on the waitlist a massive one-time birthday discount, along with early access to our private community and exclusive tech directories. Inside the playbook, I'm breaking down the exact modern hiring criteria being used by Tokyo tech scene right now, giving you list access to well-funded startups, and showing you how to bypass traditional job boards entirely. The maximum birthday discount is strictly for people on the waitlist. Hit the link in the description, lock in your spot today, and let's get you ready to make the move to Tokyo. Keep utilizing AI, keep building, but never stop leveling up your engineering core. I'll see you in the next video. ありがとうございました。